My name is Tamika Jameson, formerly Newhouse, and I'm the founder of AAMBC. The acronym stands for African Americans on the Move Book Club. Established in 2008 for the sole purpose of amplifying Black stories and those that tell those stories. In 2025, we are prepared to even amplify our events. We also want to host more events year-round, and so we need your help. From book signings to a literary freedom walk, to festivals, to curating book drives. We are wanting to do it all. So please visit the website, aambc.org, and learn all about us and donate to us today. Thanks.
Good afternoon, good morning, whatever part of the day you're joining me. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm Boss Amani Shakhete, your host for this occasion for Ready, Right, Set. Ready, Set, Right. Today we're going to avoid the woulda, shoulda, couldas and get started on that writing journey you've been wanting to do for so long now. Today, no more excuses, but a little bit about this writer's journey. I am a mom and grandma. Over 30 years of marketing and communications in my 9-to-5 world. Did a lot of storytelling in that business and still do in some freelance work. I love to read fiction, which inspired my passion to write fiction. I'm a published author under my own imprints, Kush Kingdom Publications and In Small Doses Collection. And that's where I produce short stories and novelettes. My 3 novels on the market right now is a young adult series called Latanya. Parts 1 and 2 are out. Part 3 is in process being developed. And that it used to be called The Diary of Tippy Ellis back in 2011 and 2013, and also rebooted to Girlicious. Girlicious is a part of the Latanya series. It is a trademark. There are products that go along with Latanya. Latanya Ellis is the main character, and there's t-shirts and sweatshirts you can buy online at Amazon. And if you want to know what girlicious mean, it's also defined in the Urban Dictionary. And by the way, you can just buy the series Latanya. Wrong Daughter, Night of the Blood Moon, released last year, December 21st. Celebrate, celebrate. My first magical realism novel I'm excited about, Wrong Daughter, Night of the Blood Moon, in all your favorite bookstores, okay, online. What stops you from writing? Schoolwork, volunteer, family, friends, partner, reading, there's nothing wrong with those. You just, as a writer, have to find time to schedule your writing in, particularly if you have a full household, okay? So we're going to talk a little bit about what to do in order to make sure you have time to write. Procrastination and distraction, definitely don't want to do those 2 things. Those are 2 things that are very detrimental to a writer. But are you ready to begin today? I would hope so. If you're here, that's what we want to do, right? Or will you be the one saying shoulda, woulda, coulda? I certainly hope not. 8 billion people in the world, 81% say they have a story to write, and 1% will actually write that story. I'm part of the 1%. How about you? Will you be a part of the 1%? More to make your today your day. Remember the novel you want to write, the memoir or the nonfiction book that you want to write is waiting for you to get to it. So you will need today a laptop, a blank Word document, a journal, a notebook, or a blank piece of paper. Post-it notes. If you have those, set them aside. I'll let you know what we can do with those and you can do with those moving forward. And of course, a commitment to yourself. Today, we're not going to worry about formatting our paper. We're not going to worry about punctuation because this is all about you. This is to get you started and moving forward in your writing journey. Okay. So don't throw all that stuff you learned in English all out the door. Okay. We're going to use 2-minute prompts to write, to get started. And by the end of the session, be motivated to write daily. That's what it's all about. Your personal space is critical, critical, critical to any writer. For example, particularly if you don't live by yourself and you live in a multi-generational household or have family around, like I do. I do have my own private space. Part of that space I have turned into a studio for my own writing and very comfortable for me. As you can see, I have a coffee pot over there when I need to have coffee to boost me up a little bit. But this space is for me. And so you need to have a space where you can write that nobody can come in unless you invite them. Okay. So make sure you find a space, particularly those, if you have a 1-bedroom apartment, for example, and here's a recommendation, folks, do not create your space for writing in your bedroom. You might say, well, gee, my place is small. You can find a corner in the other part of your house, okay, or little living room or dining room, and put some partitions around it, and sit your laptop in front of the partition somewhere, okay? But your room and your bedroom is for you to relax and to recharge, and it's certainly not a place to not even watch television, okay? So also, I talked a little bit about family, friends. When you write, best thing to do is to schedule some time in so you can have time for all the other things that you want to do in life. I get up early in the morning and write. That's about the best time for me because my mind is clear and the house is quiet, okay? So your personal space should also include a place where you can put your notes, your outline for your stories. This is my wall where I keep all of my information. And as you can see here, there are 3 novels in progress right now. I have 3 novels in progress and I keep everything here. If you don't want to put things on your wall, I suggest that you put it on a board, okay? Please put it on a board so you can look at it every single day, because when you see it every single day, it's going to be gnawing at you to say, hey, look, you got to get to this, all right? Can't forget that you got a story to write. Also, on your door, you should have a note that says, do not enter, particularly if you're really, really on a tight deadline, got a project you just need to get done, or you're recording like I'm doing right now. You should have something on your door so people will not knock on that door. And this is for people that have family members in the household, okay? I've had this sign up since last year. NaNoWriMo Month, National Novel Writing Month, comes out every November. It gives writers a chance to write a 50,000-word novel in 30 days, okay? I participate not in the contest. I participate so that I can be held accountable to get my work done. Okay. In 2022, I finished Wrong Gutter, Night of the Blood Moon, and started on Ernest Dan last November. It's not about getting it perfect. It's just about getting a draft done in 30 days. So you might want to check on that if you're interested. So let's get to it. We're going to start by using prompts, like I said earlier. The first prompt, again, we're just going to write. It's not about thinking about it. It's not about punctuation. It's just about getting your juices flowing. So prompt 1 is, what's my excuse for not writing or following my dream? So I'm going to count you down. And what you're going to do is just start writing. I had a mentor tell me one time, open up your laptop every single day, and if nothing comes in mind, just start typing on the keys. Okay, so this is what this is about. And if you're writing longhand, just start writing in your journal. Okay, so I'm going to count you down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and start writing. Okay, and stop. So how did that go for you? Now, I know if you've not done this in a while, it might have been a little tough to get started, but I promise you it will get easier. And the way it gets easier if you do this all the time and don't stop, but continue to flow with it every single day. Let's go to prompt 2. What will I do to avoid these excuses and be inspired to write daily? So we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to count you down on this next prompt and give you about 2 minutes to write out some ideas that are going to help you and inspire you to write. I have to tell you, one of the things that inspires me to write, I love to listen to good music when I'm writing sometimes. Okay, or again, get up earlier in the morning, right? Sometimes I read a good novel to get inspired by some of my favorite fiction authors. But I want you to go ahead and write about what will inspire you to keep moving on this journey. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, write. Okay, and stop. That may have been a little less than 2 minutes. just want to kind of get us moving in the direction of just writing all the time. And I'm just going to move forward to the next prompt. Prompt 3, just keep it moving, folks. Try not to think too hard about what you're trying to write. Remember, you're the only one that's going to see this, so no one's going to critique it, okay? And you shouldn't even critique it. It's just to get you moving. Prompt 3, why I want to write a what? So what do you really want to write? A novel, short story, a memoir, nonfiction? And why do you want to write it? Because you think you would be good at it? Be a great second career, a hobby. You want to make money at it. So I'm going to count you down on this. And so you can just get to writing on prompt 3, why I want to write a blank and fill in the blank. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, write. Okay. Okay. Keeping it moving. How did you do? How did that feel? I do hope it's getting a little bit better or easier. Feeling okay? Trust me, it'll keep getting better as long as you keep it moving. How about prompt 4? Here's one of my favorite prompts. What is my personality, brand, and positioning statement? And I'm going to recommend this to anyone that is going into the business of writing and wanting to be an author, a published author that is going to present their books to a particular audience, okay? Now, for me, I have 2 personalities. I have my work personality, that 9 to 5, under my birth name. And then I have Boss Amani Shakhete. And Amani Shakhete, I renamed myself after the Nubian queen, Amani Shakhete, very powerful queen who was a lover of the arts. She was a great visionary. And she was also considered a war queen when she had to go to war, but she also negotiated many peace treaties. But anyway, I took on that persona. That is my nom de plume when I write. Okay. Boss in front of the Amani Shakhete. I used to do music back in 2011 with my nephew. He was a hip hop artist, and we created this new sound called Word Soul. It was um, spoken word along with hip hop music, and we combined it, and it became this really great sound. And Lady Boss Amani Shakhete, or Boss Amani Shakhete, can be found on Apple Tunes and some other places if you want to hear some of my old music. But anyway, that's my persona. So this takes some time to develop. I just didn't come up with that persona over time. We were kind of toying, my nephew and I were working through some music and thinking about, okay, what are you going to call yourself? You're not a rapper, you know what I mean? And this is before I started actually writing fiction. This was my other artistic part of myself. So I just came up with that name. I kind of ran into it and I ran with it. So this takes time. It evolves over time, depending on what you want to present to your audience and into the world. Positioning means, what do I want my audience to perceive me in their minds? How do I want them to perceive me in their minds? So we're going to just toy around with some ideas on what you think you may want to put out there in the future. And those post-it notes I said to set off to the side, you can actually jot down some ideas or some concepts and take those notes and just paste them to your wall or to a board. Okay. So we're just going to go play around with this. Don't stress about it. Remember, this takes time and it will evolve as you begin to evolve into yourself as a writer. Okay. So I'm going to count you down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. I know that was less than 2 minutes, but I just kind of wanted to get your feelers around what personality branding is, and that would be your own personality or persona as you move forward. Because our time is so short today, I need to just move us along. And what I wanted to provide you are with some tools that you can take with you when you leave here today. I can't go too much into the creative writing process because there's a lot to it. In a couple weeks, I will be doing a workshop or session on the art of storytelling. So we will go more into how to develop a complete story. But for now, I'm just going to give you a sampling of what that looks like. And also, I'm going to provide you with some more prompts you can take home with you to practice and get your juices flowing. This is also good for writers that have a writer's block. I'm one of those writers. Sometimes I just like, oh God, I can't think. And so I just get to plucking away until something comes out. And sometimes I find myself on a chapter. Seriously, I'm on a chapter and I will be in a paragraph and I will go over and over and over and over in that paragraph. And I will look up, it's like 30 minutes later on a paragraph. So instead of scolding myself, I say, that's okay. The paragraph sounds good right now. And so much now, I'm starting to get a little away from that and just writing. That's why these prompts are good. Because when you're doing your first draft of something, you're not supposed to go back and re-edit the very first draft. You're just supposed to write it out and then go back and do it. But that's another lesson for another day. So elements that make up a good story. This is some of the information here. Genre, literary, you'll know what that means if you're going to be doing fiction writing, for example. I'm a literary writer. Literary writer is one who focuses on their characters, and characters drive the story. Genre, fiction writers are people that use a plot to drive the story. Mystery, thriller, suspense, fantasy, science fiction, magical realism. However, the school of thought is we should all be both, right? We should all have that mixed in. And I'm a literary writer, but I do use genre to move my stories as well. Okay. Magical realism, for example. Tippy Ellis was a mystery and a suspense. Okay. And so this is kind of what that looks like. So just kind of keep this in mind. You can also apply this to your memoir and nonfiction as well. But this is more research you'll need to do on your own. And prompts that I'm going to send home with you. And you can also go back and look at some of the prompts we just did as well and go through those again, particularly the branding statement. But prompt 4, visualize. This is really good. Good visualization exercise, and then write out some concepts. You should visualize yourself being that person or that writer you want to be. I used to have a banner on my wall. I have to get another banner. And it has my logo, and I, put it on my wall so I can stare at that all the time. Actually, it's rolled up and back with my other tools that I take out with me for book signings. So while I'm talking to you, I'm saying to myself, I need to put that back up on my wall. So, visualize yourself being in that position of greatness as that great writer or author. So what's your story? What do you want to convey? Who do you want to tell? Because everybody is not going to listen to our story, right? And why do they need to know it? And what type of story that you're going to do, right? So visualize it, do some writing and prompts on that. And then the prompt 5, hooking your audience. This is another fun one. I actually love hooking your audience, because when you get into your writing journey, I'm going to tell you something, folks. In order to keep your reader moving forward in your story, you're going to have to hook them in the first few sentences, or at least on the first page. You can't, some people think, well, I'm going to write this story and I'm just going to wait and build up and build up and build up. Not saying that's not part of the story structure, but you got to capture their attention in the very first page. Otherwise, you're going to lose your audience. And guess what? They're just going to throw the book aside. I've thrown many books aside, folks. I wanted to read really quickly my hook in Wrong Daughter, Night of the Blood Moon. It's based on the solstice. Solstice is really prominent, one of the core elements in this story. The protagonist or heroine, Emanuela Crumley, that's sent to Earth as human, is born in 1908, and her battle actually starts within her mother's womb. Okay. And so she needs to survive until solstice of 1925. Okay. So the book is laid out telling you how many days, how many years, how many months till the next solstice. Okay. So this one is chapter 1, Blood Moon of 1908, before and after birth. 6,278 days to solstice, 17 years, 2 months, 8 days to solstice. Okay. Day 13, October 1908, Baldwintown, Alabama. Tears bubbled up deep inside me when I remember, because of a gift Papa gave me at age 17. Beginning with the crackling of the heated wood stove, spewing sweaty mist into the air, hanging overhead sun lamps, warming the midwife's delicate hands, carefully cutting the cord, the final connection to my birth mother. Before she was born, her mama conspired with the village witch to murder her. They created another version to steal the firstborn daughter's legacy. Like Mama, the other version was Dutch with a hint of African blood and the future of the blood covenant. So if you want to know more, you'll have to pick up a copy of Wrong Daughter, Night of the Blood Moon. But just for you all, thank you for joining me. I'm going to have to wind it on down. The time has just gone too quickly for us. But I want you to reclaim your personal time, write every day, start outlining your story when you're ready, post your ideas, and celebrate your wins. Really critical that you celebrate your wins. The late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." And I'm asking you, how about you? Will you remain silent? I hope not, because I have something to say. My characters have something to say. So now I am more than a writer. I am a published author. All of you watching right now have something to say, and what you say matters. So I'm really rooting for you to move along this journey. Ready, set, write, keep writing, don't stop. Send me a line at bossamani@amanishakete.com. If you have questions, please send them my way. Please connect with me at facebook.com and also instagram.com. My website is amanishakete.com. I'd love to hear from you. Please share your stories with me. Let me know how you're moving along on your journey. And perhaps I'll be able to see you again soon if you come to some of my other sessions, okay, on storytelling. But other than that, have a great day. Celebrate, celebrate. And I applaud all of you for joining me today. Take care. Bye-bye.
If you're looking for a secure haven within the literary world, you found the perfect organization. Let's make magic together. Our space is specifically designed for African American authors who are passionate about their writings of films and books. It's a platform to stay informed about industry developments. And on Patreon, we'll share exclusive content, valuable resources, and engaging discussions and masterclasses on various subjects, ranging from film and publishing industry trends to wellness and business tips. So if you're ready to dive into this exciting community, become a member now. Welcome to our literary haven where creativity knows no bounds. Let's make magic together.